leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. Who's chasing the beer? The circle the lips, play ball. Play ball. Load up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball. Take off the caps. Time for the song.
Oh, cut me close.
You are on.
Hey, welcome to Laughter Saves Lives Live from Paradise Studios in Massapequa, New York. We're doing the whole Zoom thing on Strong Island TV, YouTube, Facebook Live. I am in my basement in Belmore, right next door to my lovely Greek neighbors, very nice people. Been down here for a few months. I still have the manger set up behind the green screen. For 2 years, the kids have not taken it down, and I am not touching it. It's until they take it down. That's a whole house. And we welcome the lovely Megan King from outside of Dallas.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
This is your second time co-hosting.
That is right. I loved it.
There's only one other person that co-hosted twice. Well, I want to make you feel good, but I can't even.
No, go ahead. Who was it?
No, but there's not many people who I've had back twice. I think you did a great job. Like I said, you're smart. You're pretty. We had good chemistry going back and forth. You're funny, and you just made dinner.
I did. I made Thai food for my 20-year-old, and he hasn't eaten it yet. So it's just on the. It's lovely to cook and then have them not eat it right away. It's really great. Makes you feel good.
It's so funny that you said I cooked tonight. I shopped and cooked. My wife came home from work and there was a dinner there. We don't do that every night, so she was very happy and she actually enjoyed it because my family will say it sucks in a heartbeat.
My kids do, yeah.
Yeah, there's no like dad did the shopping and dad did the cooking and just suck it up.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a great cook. I know I'm a fireman or I was a fireman. Some nights I hit it out of the park and other nights it sucks. But it's so funny you said Thai food. In my house, they're happy. They just call it food. There's no dad made Chinese or dad made Italian. Yeah. Dad made food. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're happy that I made some food. If they don't try to put it into a category because then it might suck if they say, "Oh, this was supposed to be Italian." So I don't say.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just say I made something and I walk away.
Yeah. We'll see. It's I'm a little bit outside of Dallas. I'm north about 30 minutes north of Dallas. 30
minutes. And we try to keep the yucks going here. We don't get into politics. But you guys, since the last time I spoke to you, you guys have had a tough hit with the COVID.
Yeah, I feel like we've become New York is what I tell people. It's crazy.
And you think it's because they didn't do the right thing? Like they didn't, everybody didn't, isolate, wear the mask, do the right thing? Because I spoke to another comic, one of your friends out there, in fact. What's her name now? The one that came with me to Colorado.
Kim Wadsworth?
Yeah, and the last time I spoke to her, she said nobody was wearing masks. She was the only one, and people were looking down at her.
Yes.
And up here, we're like this, I would say in general, other than the protests or some of these crazy parties you hear about, nobody goes into a store without a mask. You're not allowed, but...
Well, and you guys saw the worst of it, and now we are. So I feel like now that... we're hearing reports that the ICU is full in Dallas, the ICU is full in Houston. People are starting to take it a little bit more seriously, and some people are starting to adjust and wear masks. But, man, it's a Republican state down here. Not that that's a big deal, but I'm just saying that they have a certain viewpoint of this whole thing. They don't see Trump wearing it, and so, therefore, they don't feel like they need to. That's what I've heard.
You bring up a good point. Again, I try to stay away from politics.
I know, I don't want to bash.
But I feel like there are a lot of people out there that don't really get into stuff, okay? Don't really do research or whatever.
Yes.
And if
Yes,
they
that's
keep turning on the TV and seeing the leader of our country not wearing it, well, they're not. But if they saw him wearing it, even if he doesn't have to wear it at times, wear it.
Yeah.
You're the boss. You're
Yes.
the boss. I'll scale it down. There's a greenhouse by me. Mother's Day, I went to buy Paula flowers. I was first online because I'm a nerd, but that's a whole other story. I was first online. I go in. Nobody in the place is wearing masks. And there are young kids working there, 17 years old. So I asked the kid, I said, hey, bro, I got some masks in the car. Do you need one? And he goes, oh, no, the boss has some, but the boss isn't wearing it. So if the boss is wearing it and saying, hey, guys, you need to wear a mask,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But if he's not wearing it, so again, we try to stay away from the politics.
I know I'm not bashing anything, but I will say, like, and Texas is a very independent state. You know what I mean?
know.
We are very
Yes.
proud people down here.
Yes,
and,
you are.
And unfortunately, now in my Facebook feed, it's just people on, please wear masks. Everyone stop.
I know. Thank you. Please,
Yeah.
thank you. So sorry you're going through that.
Yeah, my kids even, I mean, so they opened up, and once we opened up, it got very lackadaisical around here. And my kids are into D&D, and they get together, and they had a pool party, birthday party, like 2 weeks ago, this past Sunday. And someone there apparently had it. And we found out 5 days after the pool party. So we've been on quarantine. My whole household has been on quarantine for 14 days. Now we're a little bit, we're a little bit past it now, but, and I'm glad because I now know that my kids haven't gone and done something stupid, because I mean, teenagers just don't understand.
No, definitely not.
the gravity of the situation.
No,
you know?
no. And hopefully they don't have to understand the gravity with somebody getting very sick, you know?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
My kids, luckily, we haven't got one of their test results back, but no one's had any symptoms or anything. So,
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
That's good.
Yes. So, let's get into stupider things with haircuts and it makes me nuts. I'm going out to get my haircut. I understand it's important, but just do it. Just do it. You don't got.
I am dyeing my own hair. I just did it this morning. I literally, because I knew it was coming on your show. So I dyed my gray ass hair myself.
I was asked to go on the show the other day, and I shaved, and they couldn't get video, so they only did audio. And I never shave. You can tell. I'm like, I'll shave for your show, and they didn't get me on. But I am getting my hair cut tomorrow. Paula cut it the last time, my wife, and I'm going to go to a barbershop. I don't know why I was going to beauty salon. Why?
Well, you got a good head of hair, that's why.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's what I do. After it's cut, I come home and I go like this with some gel. I get up in the morning, and 30 seconds later, I'm at the door. You know what I mean? I don't care. I'm not good with my hair, so I'm going to. It's going to cost half the amount. Yeah. If I go to a barbershop.
If I could go to a barbershop, I would.
Some old Italian guy sitting there with a piece of provolone and salami before I walk in. That's what I need. I need
as you're cutting your hair, just pieces of hair.
That's one thing I always wanted to do. I've been to Italy. Wait a second. Have I been to Italy? Yes, I've been to Italy once, way up north. I taught a class. Aviano. Johnny went to Aviano.
Nice.
Yeah, I taught a 4-hour class on one of our military bases. My boss said to me, hey, you haven't been to Italy? I said, no. He goes, you want to go teach class to our guys in the military? And I'm thinking to myself, he wants me to fly over, teach the class, and fly back the next day. I'll take a hit for the company. I'm a go-to guy. I'll do it. So I said, yeah. So he goes, all right, get a price. So I called my travel agent. I had a travel agent back then. And she came, I'm a fancy pants. You can tell. And she came back and she goes, if you don't stay for 4 days, it's going to cost you a fortune. I go, what about car, hotel, food? She goes, if you don't stay for 4 days, it's going to cost you like 5 times as much. So I got the 2 prices, went back to my boss and said, here if I stay 1 day, here if I stay 4 days, car, hotel, airfare. Of course, it was the airfare that was the problem. He goes, stay for 4 days.
Nice.
I did a 4-hour class. I was sitting. I tell the story a lot. I took a lot of video of me eating. That's all I took video of. Of me eating pizza, of me eating lasagna, and that's all.
I would do the same thing. That's my favorite kind of food is Italian food. Oh.
And then I came home and I said to my kids, "Come in the living room. I'm going to show you my videos from Italy." And they were like, "Oh my God, this is going to be wonderful." And it's just me doing this.
Just you eating.
Yeah, and they're like, "You're an idiot." And I'm like, "You don't know that by now."
But it was good.
It was good, but I was eating lasagna in Venice.
Oh.
Okay? And as I'm eating, in between bites, I call my wife and I said, "Don't ever make lasagna again." And I hung up the phone. Because you're not going to duplicate this chick. I'm sorry.
Of course not. So I have, of course, being in quarantine, started watching different stuff. And there is a show called Home Games or something. Anyway, the first episode is based in Florence and it's called Cacao. Did you hear about this? Or were you near? I don't know where Florence is. I'm real good with geography.
My daughter actually stayed in Florence when she went. My 2 daughters went for 5 weeks 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Right down from Germany to visit relatives, plane, atop Italy, way down.
Wow.
All the way down to my family.
Okay, so this thing is it's like football, rugby, MMA, all rolled up into one. They only do it once a year because it's so violent and people get hurt so much. But it's Florence and it's different sections of Florence all competing to be like the champions. And I'm telling you, just tune in. It's on Netflix. It's Home Games. Just do the first episode. Home Game. Yeah. And it's crazy to watch because they're literally beating each other up just to get this ball, to the other side. And they've been doing it for like 2,000 years.
That sounds like
I want to go.
My house on Sunday when there's one meatball left. and it's not pretty. It's not pretty. Megan King, I don't know if you read my Facebook post last week. I mentioned it last week. My Uncle Pat passed away in Florida, 98 years old. Retired NYPD mayor's bodyguards, 3 mayors.
Wow.
And Golden Glove boxing referee. And I'm working on, it's going to be a freaking cool event in memory of my uncle. I've through my cousin I should say, Angel Cortez. The average person does not know who Angel Cortez is. My uncle was a mentor to Angel Cortez. Angel Cortez became one of the most popular boxing referees in history, heavyweight fights, championship fights, and he owes my uncle, he says my uncle made his career.
Aww.
So we're going to do some kind of comedy boxing thing in memory of my uncle, donate some money to the PAL program to help some kids get off the street and get into boxing. It's going to be nuts. And I think I'm going to box the young lady who was on our show. She's a military girl. She's 35. Trying to remember her name. She's a gunner that hangs out the side of the helicopter. She's still in, and she's going to kill me. In the ring, she doesn't understand that this is just for fun. Every time I tell her, we're going to do this, we're going to raise money, she just, I can't wait. I go, "Listen, I'm 60. You're 35. I'm just doing it for fun." She says, "Ha ha," and it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be ugly.
That's really cool, though.
It's gonna be. Pat Masher was my uncle. What an interesting guy. This is the second week I mentioned him, but he was I call him the uncle the pull my finger uncle. You know what I mean? The one that will do anything to get the kids to laugh, roll on the floor. No matter where you go or who you bring to him, 1 degree of separation, he knows somebody. Where are you from? You grew up where? What part of Brooklyn? Oh, do you know Tony? Tony Making Donuts? Oh, yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Interesting guy. So we're going to be doing that. We got, Bobby, can you throw up the comedy shows? Now, I can't see them, but this is on delay. We have our big show coming up. We have to change the date. Malloy College, the national fundraiser. That date's going to be changed. We're probably going to be doing that at Governor's Comedy Club now, not at the college. The college is not doing any more stuff in the theater. through the year. So we got bounced from there. We're going to do this. This is going to be an online plus live fundraiser. It's going to be unbelievable. $25. You click on the charity of your choice, all over the world, wherever you are, and 20 goes to that charity. We have.
That's a good idea.
Well, it's not my idea. It's JJ Boyd helping through humor. He's gonna, and Laughter Saves Lives gets a little bit of everything. So that's going to be cool. There was something else I wanted to talk. Oh, the Heroes Tour. Laughter Saves Lives Heroes Tour. I'm going to have a few dates coming out soon. Cops, firemen, military, healthcare professional, comics, raising money for like charities, where I'll be emceeing, and there'll be 2 to 3 comics on the stage at times. It's going to be a rat pack mess. We'll have comics abusing each other on stage before they get off and talking to each other like you would in a firehouse, a police station, a military barracks, or in the back room at the hospital. Because you know those nurses talk dirt back there.
Well, our comics, we bust each other's balls all the time. That's
Correct.
what we do.
Correct.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun. I'm going to be Janet Jackson in it with the headphone, with the mic, running on and off the stage and making a total ass of myself. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun and for a good cause. Tonight we have on our next guest coming up is Cooper Lawrence. Cooper is, oh my God, her resume is extreme here. We'll talk to her about some Hollywood stuff and some of her charities. You just feed off of me, Megan.
Of course.
Questions, because the way I produce this show is just horrible. And then we have Tim Duffy from One Soldier, One Dog, One Team, doing a lot for veterans with doggies and post-traumatic stress. So we'll go into our first commercial break, and we'll come back with Cooper Lawrence.
Yay!
Hi, I'm Michael Barish, managing partner of Barish, McGarry, Salzman, and Penson. We are honored to represent over 11,000 people in the 9/11 community. The people who work at my law firm can really relate to what the 9/11 community is going through because they're going through it too.
So my dad's name was Billy Gormley, and he was a fireman on 9/11.
My father also was a firefighter, and he did report down there as well on 9/11.
My dad, Alan, worked on the 104th floor of the second tower. He was an IT technician.
My father was a fire inspector.
My husband, his name is David Velez. He was a detective with the NYPD. And if I can help anybody that is going through exactly what I have gone through for the last 17, 18 years and make their life just a little bit better, then you know what? I love coming to work every single day.
You know, this is a genuine office. Like, people are really sincere.
The best part of my job is the clients. Every once in a while, you'll hear in their voice how grateful they are for the work that we do.
We take this personally, and we will not rest unless we help everybody we can before this Victim Compensation Fund ends in 2 years. And we will be fighting to get this thing extended past 2020 because cancer isn't going to stop afflicting the 9/11 community.
We're back, Laughter Saves Lives Live. I'm still in Belmore next to my Greek neighbors. Megan King is out there from outside of Dallas a few minutes. She's got the Pope's wave. That's the Pope wave, you know.
I thought it was the Queen.
Oh, yeah, it's the Queen, too. All right, it's the Queen. Do you know how the Pope became the Pope, by the way, before we bring Cooper on? Do you know how the Pope became the Pope? He didn't want the job, this new Pope. I don't know if you know. He's a good Pope. He's a cool Pope, but he didn't want the job. He had a good gig. Where was he from? Brazil? Argentina? Where was he from? I don't know. He had a good gig. He had a good gig. He did not want this job, but everybody else thought he was the best choice. You understand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he was in the room on a break. They were having a cup of coffee, and he said, "Hey guys, where's the men's room?" And they said, "Just walk out those 2 doors." He opened the doors. People were cheering. Now he's waving, and he was the Pope. I would say that's a true story, but it's a really sucky story, and I made it up. Cooper Lawrence is here. Cooper Lawrence.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Cooper, are you kidding me? I'm so excited to have you. I would rank you in the top, I'm going to say right off the bat without thinking, The top 5 biggest shots we've ever had on our little show, Cooper.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
I know. And if I really think hard, you may move up on that list before you're done here.
Wow, thanks. Okay, I'll take it.
We had Mary Kennedy on from That's a Shame. No, not That's a Shame. What is this show with? Anyway, she's kind of a big shot. Joe Piscopo has not. Joe Piscopo was on, I guess you could say. So Joe Piscopo's a little bit of a big shot. But Cooper Lawrence, you've done numerous things here. Numerous things. Too much to go through. A lot of TV. Give me 3 big credits. Bada bing.
Okay, 3 big credits. Let's see. I was on Z100 and PLJ for many years in New York radio.
Yes.
TV, I was the relationship expert on the Tyra Banks Show. I was a co-host on Confessions of a Teen Idol with Scott Baio and Jason Hervey. And I was on Dish Nation for a couple of years.
And didn't you do something with Joan Rivers?
Yeah, I produced her radio show for 2 years.
Now, you know why I say that?
Why?
Because that's the only thing I read from your credits, so I figured now it looks like I read your resume.
Excellent. She was awesome. I know you're a comic, so I'm sure you probably love her because people either love her or hate her.
Cooper, you haven't seen my act. Don't call me a comic until you see my act. Okay. Because people say to me, how long are you doing comedy? You go 25 years. They go, maybe 2? But thank you, Cooper. You know what I wanted to ask you in general? First of all, before I forget, Butch says, make sure you ask her about her book.
Yes.
Okay? And that's what a good host does. They listen to their producers and they say stuff like that. So what is your book about, Cooper?
The book is called Celebritocracy. It's a made-up word that I came up with. You know, it's always good to have like a word to kind of explain the book. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So Celebritocracy is like how celebrities have kind of inserted themselves in our democracy. And there's stories about how it's been great and stories of how it's been terrible. And it's mostly been terrible, actually.
Mostly been terrible. I agree. And we're basically a no politics show. We're basically a no politics show.
That's good. This isn't really politics, though. It's like for example, did you know where the?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not trying to stifle you.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is there's so many places that you're getting barraged. You know, and I try to just give them a smile, give them a yuck, give them a Cooper Lawrence, a good guest where they can learn something. And, you know.
Yeah, but I want to hear a good example. It doesn't have to be, or a bad example, probably.
Yeah.
I have a good example and a bad example. So the bad example is, do you know where the money went from Live Aid? Live Aid raised $127 million. Do you know where that money went?
Yes.
What's that?
I know this because I've researched this.
Okay.
It went to good places.
It didn't.
Right?
It did not. So Live Aid was a concert that happened in 1985. There's like a really famous scene from Bohemian Rhapsody. Did you guys see that movie? So so that really famous scene where Freddie Mercury, like that note heard around the world, that happened during Live Aid. So they raised $127 million. It was supposed to be for Ethiopia, for famine, but that's not where the money went. The dictator who took the money, who was running Ethiopia at the time, he gave that whole $127 million to the Russians for military equipment, which he then used to kill his own people, and we funded that.
Oh my God. But we didn't mean to, right? Like that wasn't something
it's not that we meant to. That's a good example of how celebrities get involved with something and they don't do any research. You know what I mean? It was so exciting to like be there in Wimbledon and Philadelphia and this big concert, but nobody bothered to research where the money was going, who this guy actually was. And that's celebrities get duped like that all the time. People take advantage of them all the time.
Cooper, wouldn't you rank that in the top 5 as I did Cooper Lawrence in my top 5? Wouldn't you rank that like in the top 5 dupings of all time?
Oh, that's probably in my world. That's number 1, and that's what this book is. It's exposing a lot of those stories. But the good part of it is that I know you guys everybody hates Kim Kardashian, but don't, because I call her the future of celebrity activism. All the stuff that she's doing with prison reform and she's becoming a lawyer. Like she actually is what celebrities should be doing moving forward. Like show your butt, do your makeup, make $1 billion from Cody. We don't care, because the good stuff she's doing on the side is actually very genuine. And it's from a good place.
She is one of those that's always got on my nerves. So I had no idea. So please enlighten me. Is she going to school to be a lawyer? Really?
Yep, she is. So she's finishing law school, but she's not doing, there's a lot of different ways that you can go to law school in California. So she's going to be taking the bar. She's working with Van Jones and his law firm, and they are working really hard to
tutoring her.
Yeah, exactly. But they're also working really hard to free people from prison who are there for the wrong reasons, or they're there. Like this one woman they freed, she like a couple of joints on her, and she was in for 30 years. So they got her out early. Yeah.
That's awesome. Here's what I want to ask you about celebrities. Okay. We have on our show usually how kind of real people, and what I mean by that, they're real people, celebrities. Our next guest, Tim, he's a regular guy. I think he was a fireman, and he started this organization, One Soldier, One Dog, One Team, where he's helping veterans with post-traumatic stress, donating a lot of his own time. All right? Yeah. I donate a lot of my time to Laughter Saves Lives. So you see all these celebrities, and they have a lot of money, and they're throwing money around, and they're helping different charities. And that's all well and good. They should be doing that, in my eyes. But who is one, other than Kim Kardashian, one or two celebrities that you would say, you know what, John, this is the real deal. This person, and I'll give you one more example, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I asked Joe Piscopo to MC, and Megan will appreciate this, MC a show in the city once that we were doing for fire department related guys who 9/11 who were sick or whatever. Mm-hmm. He shows up at the show. Now, I overbooked the show because everybody wants to be at the big comedy clubs in the city. All these, comics friends of mine who do the veteran shows for me. So I tried to get him in there and get him a tape. Let's say there was about 11 comics on the show. That's a lot. Normally you have 3, 4, all right?
Right.
Piscopo comes in and he's going to MC the show.
Wow.
He's going to MC the show. Not only is he going to MC, he gets there early, sits with me in the other room and says, Johnny, tell me how to pronounce all these names. I was blown away.
Yeah.
Because, on the other hand, Jerry Seinfeld walked in one day without any notice, bumped some of my comics, and didn't even ask what charity it was for. Didn't mention the word fireman when I had four firefighters with cancer from 9/11 sitting in the front row. So, tell me 2 people that you go, John, they're the real deal.
Jon Stewart is the real deal.
I know that. I know.
And I'll tell you why he's the real deal, because he's got no dog in that fight. Everything that he did to help the 9/11 firefighters, as you probably know, I'm sure you're well aware of the September 11th charities and the work that he did. But he's got no dog in that fight. That's a big thing. You have to always look back to why celebrities are doing things. Like, suddenly Chris Brown is giving all this money to domestic violence. Let's figure that out. Oh, I see. It's a PR stunt. Yeah. Because he suddenly, is in Dutch with everybody because he beat up Rihanna. So now he has to show that he's very remorseful, and he's against domestic violence. He's giving all the money from his concerts to all these domestic violence charities. Does that feel real to you? I mean, you can tell in your heart if something feels real or not.
Does he go and speak in front of people about the
No. That's the other thing. Do they just write a check? I mean, anybody can write a check, The people that actually go and speak and do the work,
Exactly. Cooper, and let me add that if any of the celebrities who are like that, Chris Brown, want to write out a check to Laughter Saves Lives Foundation, I don't really care if they ever, that's fine with me. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It shouldn't matter.
You take money from anybody.
Of course, you should. You know what? You should, because you're doing good with it. And that helps a lot of celebrities. If they vet you and they know that the money is going towards a good place, that's a big deal. But you look at someone like Oprah, who gets taken advantage of all the time because she's Oprah. Yeah. She's written a lot of checks, but she also had that angel network, and it did great until she got taken advantage of when she built all those houses for the Katrina victims, and the people that built the houses did a terrible job because she left to go be a celebrity. She wrote the check, she got the ball rolling, but the people around her just took advantage of her. And, it breaks my heart because it ended up being a problem for all the Katrina people, Yeah. So I think it comes down to who the celebrity is, what the motivation is. I mean, do they have a dog in the fight? Did somebody with breast cancer, now are they giving a breast cancer? Great. That's really good.
Yes.
But if somebody like Ashton Kutcher is suddenly giving away all this, he's not giving away money. He's asking you to buy his wine so that he then can donate the money.
That always cracks me up. I ask somebody, hey, do you want to be a sponsor for Laughter Saves Lives? And they responded with, whatever clients you bring in for me, I'll give you 5%. And I'm like, wait a second. So I have to work for you to make a donation.
To a charity.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
So
I mean, Ashton Kutcher is worth $250 million. Cut out the middleman. You know, instead of having me buy the wine, just go ahead and donate that money yourself.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. Well, very interesting. Very, very interesting, Cooper. Give us, you're involved with a few charities. Did you grow up in Long Island?
I did, yeah. I'm from Limbrook.
Oh, wow. Well, I used to live in Limbrook after I got married. I'm from Queens. But here's a cheap plug. I would love to get you involved with Laughter Saves Lives.
Wow.
I'm just going to say it, just throwing it out in some way. Doesn't have to be right out a check, Cooper. I'm not asking for your money. Come to a show, MC a show, whatever. We'll work it out.
I would love that.
I always.
Thank you.
I'm so bad, Cooper.
No, that's really important to me. I mean, I've always been very into charity since I'm a kid, but I don't like to just. I've never written a check because I'm really cheap. I like to volunteer, and I've always volunteered. I volunteered my entire life. Like when I was on Long Island, when I was at LIR, we were really involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters. My dog is a therapy animal. We visit children's hospitals, we visit adult hospitals, we visit.
Let me just tell Megan, LIR. If you don't know what LIR is, it's the Long Island Rail.
No, it isn't.
I know.
There was a station one of the big stations when we were growing up was WLIR that we all grew up listening to it. Yeah, it was like the alternative cool station. And then when I got older, it was kind of on its way out, but it was my first radio job, and you can't say no. Yeah. So,
hey, Cooper. Do you want to hang out when we bring Tim on from One Soldier, One Dog, or you have somewhere to go?
I got nowhere to go. I mean, you want me here? I'll be happy to stick around.
I really like you.
Oh, thank you.
No, I do. I didn't know who.
Very
you
nice.
Were. What am I going to say, Megan? I'm being honest.
Yeah. He's very genuine.
If I didn't like Cooper, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And yes, somebody says if you have nothing nice to say, right? But you know what? And I'm going to get a little deep here.
Okay.
My attitude in life changed a bit after 9/11 and losing 19 guys I work with and a whole bunch of people. And I find myself like, if I have something nice to say about somebody, this may be my last time to ever say it. Who knows what's going to happen? Why not make their day?
Right.
Right? So Cooper Lawrence, I like you.
Thank you so much. And I like you too. That's a really good way to live. I think that's a real lesson that I just learned from you because, sometimes you feel like corny and awkward with people because you don't know how they're going to respond. They're going to be like, okay, boomer. You never know.
Yeah.
So.
You're not a boomer.
I talk to everybody.
I'm not. No.
I was going to say.
Let's go to our commercial break. We'll bring in Tim and Cooper's going to hang out with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I come across a product I have to tell people about. LifeVac is one of them. Now, each year, 5,000 people choke to death. LifeVac can stop these senseless tragedies. It's so easy to use. You simply place, push, and pull. You'll never regret having a LifeVac. Please visit lifevac.net today to protect you and your loved ones.
Jack, put your phone away. We're having dinner.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing? What can I get you?
You guys want appetizers?
For some reason, I just got a craving for smoked meat.
Well, you ordered something already. The menu hasn't changed. You looked at it 3 times.
I don't know what I want yet.
I wanted chicken, but I think it's blackened, so I'll just have a burger.
How'd you like that cooked?
Medium.
Do you have any specials?
Specials? Boss, what are specials?
What's the matter? You don't know the specials?
Look at this smoke.
What smoke?
We gotta get these dumps clean.
Nah, they're fine.
You know what? We're just gonna take our order to go, okay?
In business since 2003, MCM Duct Cleaning is the result of many years of research and continuing education. Realizing the need to provide a safer and cleaner environment for families on Long Island, MCN services both residential and commercial properties by cleaning dryer vents, fireplaces, HVAC systems, and so much more. This not only improves air quality, but it could also reduce your energy bills by making things run more efficiently. So, if you want to make your house or business safer and cut down on your bills in the process, give our friend Matt over at MCN a call now.
Is that steak well done?
Maybe call a little bit sooner than these guys did.
And we're back with Laughter Saves Live. Me still looking at the screen and not the camera after 3 years on the air. Still down my basement. They did feed me today, and I have my fire trucks. My grandson was down here today, so things are a mess. We have Tim Duffy on from One Soldier, One Dog, One Team. Hello, Tim.
Hello.
This is your second time on, Tim. Just like Magen. So we thank you for coming back. Most guests say, nah, that's all right, John. Mr. Tim, obviously all your fundraisers, as of mine, were kind of put on hiatus, as I usually say. I'm supposed to say hiatus, but I don't get much of a chance to say the word anus, so I say hiatus, and it's just it gives me a little chuckle inside as Cooper's like, I knew he was an idiot, but now
I knew I liked this guy.
Such a fireman.
Yep.
You want to hear something funny? Aubrey's telling me, oh yeah, we got our what was your bike thing called? The bike ride. What was it called?
I don't even remember.
What's the name of the bike ride?
Just a bike run. Yeah. If Aubrey gave it a name, God bless her.
So Aubrey, who works with Tim on the charity, she says to me, "Oh, we're having the bike run on such and such a day." And me being the real macho know-it-all, I go, "Oh, good. I'll bring my bike there, my pedal bike, and I'll do it." She goes, "John, it's a motorcycle run," and I'm like, because I'm an idiot. So what do we got coming up, Tim? What are you planning? Start with the comedy show.
Well, unfortunately, our comedy show was canceled. It was going to be the end of March with the COVID. And then we were trying to reschedule the bike run, which was supposed to be this past Sunday. We were trying to get it off in like early October. Right. And it just doesn't look like we were going to be able to pull it off. So it looks like we're just going to have to skip it for this year. So I had 3 or 4 fundraisers between Missouri and Texas and Arizona for the spring/summer, and they were all canceled. So, we're kind of hurting for money right now, which I'm sure everybody is. So I'm really sweating what I do, because my biggest fear with what I do is getting a call from a soldier, and I got to tell them, no, I can't help you because I don't have any shekels. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to send you some money.
You're all right for an engine man.
No, I wasn't an engine man.
Oh, okay. I love you a little more, John.
I'm big and tall and strong. I worked in the truck.
You're truck life, baby.
I'm still doing some weights. Look at.
I like to ask the guys when I meet them, "Are you engine or truck?" And if they tell me engine, I say, "Yeah, when are you going to come work with the men?" Because unless you're the chauffeur, you're a freaking cheerleader.
Cooper and Megan. Engine has the hoses and stretches the hose lines, puts out the fire. The truckies break down the doors, pull the series, and make the rescues. So there's this battle in fire departments around the country. If you're an engine, you're a truck. I ended up in hazmat, neither, but I was in the hazardous materials unit and wore the moon suits. Tim, tell us quickly what One Soldier, One Dog, One Team does.
Well, about 35 years or so ago, when I got out of the Navy, I always wanted a dog, so I got a dog. And when I moved back to New York, I was in Long Beach, California. When I moved back to New York in like 85, I don't know how I got into it, but I wound up getting into the therapy program, and I wound up certifying my dog as a therapy dog. And I used to work in the nursing homes and all that. And it was absolutely one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. I would have nurses grab and hug me in the hallway with tears in their eyes, telling me that old man hasn't said a word to me in 3 years. And all of a sudden he's telling you stories about when he was a kid. And so I got hooked, and then I got roped into being the environmental chairman for Community Board 2 when we wound up shutting down the landfill on Staten Island. And just always involved. We started a rodeo on Staten Island to raise money for kids and for animals. And in that, we started a program for autistic children with horses on the beach on Staten Island by the Verrazano Bridge.
Oh.
And believe it or not, this was back in the late 80s, early 90s, and it's still going to this day. The girls that I brought in to start up this program are still there doing it. So a couple of years ago, I don't know how I got hooked up with this one soldier to help him out with his dog. And then it's, went to another guy and another guy. And I had just been, I got out, with not really a good pension. So, money has always been a struggle. So the boss was yelling at me, you got to stop doing this. We can't pay the electric. And I was like, I can't stop doing, and then a friend said, we should start a 501c3. So now what we do is I save a dog and a soldier at the same time by using rescued dogs, whether they're from a foster or a shelter, and then we hook them up with a wounded vet. And then whatever degree the guy wants to take the level of training with the pup, we take care of that. Like, so I have dog teams and soldier and dog teams in Wisconsin, North and South Carolina, Florida. I've driven 23 hours straight to drop off and pick up a dog for a soldier. So that's pretty much what we do, and we operate pretty much on a shoestring. I've just got a handful of, actually, Rolling Thunder 2 out of Staten Island. 3 of those people from that unit are on my board and work with me. And so we, nobody takes a dime. Everything, I modeled it after the Tunnel to Towers, because Stevie Stiller and I went to Proby school together, and our kids, spent time together as kids. We actually went to 153 truck out of Proby school. So, we were really good buds. So I started doing work with them, traveling the country.
Yeah,
and that's when I started my thing. And so I was splitting my time between the Tunnel to Towers and the dogs. So now I'm just pretty much doing 100% dog stuff. Unless they need me for something, they call me, I go.
All right.
John, can I ask a question, John? Do you mind if I ask Tim a question?
I'm going to let you answer a question right now. I just know that Cooper, I read her resume, does some stuff with her dog.
Yeah, my dog is a therapy animal as well, and we've been part of therapy programs and working in hospitals and reading programs for about almost 11 years now. But I'm curious, Tim, so the soldiers that work with the animals, are they then a team and then they go out and work, or is the animal is to be with the soldier? So it's more like a service dog than it is like a therapy dog.
Yeah, the difference with what we do and with the whole service dog thing, the government getting involved on classifications and IDs because people were abusing the system, a service dog technically has to do complete at a minimum 3 tasks for the soldier to be considered a service dog. Now, if you're unlucky/lucky enough to get on the list at the VA for a service dog, it's a 2-year wait. So all those guys like with PTSD or, meaning the guys without the legs and arms and wheelchairs are the guys getting service dogs. So all these guys, 22, this is what made me start doing it. When I heard 22 a day were committing suicide, that just blew me away. 22 guys a day. And if I can pull a dog out of a shelter and hook it up with a guy and keep him from sticking a gun in his mouth, I don't know what else to say.
Home run.
Right.
Great. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I save a dog and a soldier at the same time.
Wow.
That's great. That is really great. Megan?
I love it. We actually have, I was on a radio show called Making a Difference, and we had a similar association down here in Texas that does something like this for soldiers. Paws for Pets, I think, or something like that.
Paws for Patriots?
Yeah, I think that might have been it. But
Okay.
yeah, they were great, and I just think it's a great idea. And the fact that you're getting them from shelters, I'm not quite sure if that's what they were doing, is even better. So
yeah,
God bless you.
Did you mention just now, because I really should have been paying attention to the whole thing? Did you mention that you were in the U.S. Navy?
Yes, 79 to 83. And you were just going to say I don't look that old. Thanks, John.
No, the old fart. I just wanted to make sure that we said it on the air because thank you for your service. I've taught around the country on military bases. I'm very smart, Tim. So I've taught on many.
Keep telling yourself that, John.
I gotta tell people I'm smart. I don't think so.
That's always a good sign when you have to say that.
When you have to tell people. By the way, excellent question, Cooper. That was an excellent question. Thank God she hung around. I teach. I taught, and what I'm always amazed about on these military bases is how simple our military lives. On the bases. When I went to Italy, they didn't live on the base. They lived in Italian people homes. They rented rooms. and how little you guys need in the military to do your job. You're dedicated. It's such a tough thing to do, to leave your family. My dad left his family to go overseas. You guys leave your families, and when people come to me at my uncle's funeral, it's part of the screenplay that was revived this week, guys. So I'm hoping that we're moving forward again. But at my uncle's funeral, he was a military guy. My dad was a military guy. There was this guy there that worked with my Uncle Joe in the military, and he said to me, "Oh, you're going to salute your uncle at the casket with us." And I go, "Bro," I go, "not for nothing, I don't belong there." I go, "You guys left your family, went overseas, got shot at, blah, blah, blah." And this was after 9/11. And he looked at me and he said, he ordered me. He said, "Young man, you were a New York City fireman?" I said, "Yes, sir." He goes, "You're saluting your uncle with your father." And it was the first time in my life, and only time, that I was able to kind of be one of them and salute next to my dad.
You gave me goosebumps, John.
Oh, it was one of the highlights of my life.
But it's amazing because I don't know how Magen feels about this, but when I look at you guys, I mean, even just the fact that you were brave enough to be a firefighter. I mean, you could have gone and worked at Food Town and been a checker. Like, you chose to do something brave. So even though you have a hierarchy where you look at someone like Tim and think, "Oh God, like I'm not worthy," we look at you and think, "Oh my God, you risked your life." So even though you didn't leave your family every single day or for weeks at a time, you really you put your life in harm's way.
Yeah, you could have been forever. Exactly.
I mean, I sit on a couch and I sit behind a microphone. I don't do anything brave ever. So the fact that your family wonders if you're even going to come home at night,
Well, this is interesting. By the way, I got fired by Food Town. That's why I became a fireman. I was not too brave, hated smoke, afraid of heights. All right, so that was my fire department career, starting off there.
Sounds like a perfect job for you.
Yeah.
That's a great way to, my father used to say, it's good benefits. That's a great way to get good benefits.
I was in it for the rush. Every time the bell went off, I got a Woody, John.
And that's why, that's the thing. Most people become a fireman because they're brave. Their uncle was a fireman. Like Tim, they get excited.
I didn't say brave. I just said I enjoyed it.
Initially became a fireman for the New York City benefits, Good dental. That's a great reason to run into a burning building, right? Good dental. But it was one of the greatest things I ever did.
By far.
Such awesome people, brave people. But recently on this show, we had on a nurse in a hospital. It reminded me of my guys that I saw in the video on 9/11 in the lobby of that building, and their faces when we saw the video months later. And,
John.
And they were running up in that building when they knew what was going on, and they went up. So
you gave me. I worked at 7 and 1. The video the French guys did. That's my old fire.
Yep.
Every guy I worked with, including my brother-in-law, is in that video.
I worked with Antonio.
When I see that, I can't watch that because when I see their face, you just gave me goosebumps. No. I can't.
No. But what I want to bring up, Tim, is that we had Josbeth on because everybody now is the healthcare professionals are our heroes, right? They were there all along. They were doing, but
we just need them more now.
Right, and that's why I'm including them now. You're going to be one of our first hero shows, Tim. It's all going to be cops, firemen, military, first care professionals, healthcare professional comics. But Josbeth said to me, "John, every night when I went to work, I cried. I cried in the car the whole way in. And I said, but you went to work. You're my hero. You're my hero. Every night you cried, but you went to work."
Right.
And a lot of them that tell that story of how much they cried and how scared they were, and they went to work.
You know what, John? It's kind of, I rarely talk about this, especially in this kind of a forum, but what you just said, it brought me right back. And I won't even tell you the story. I was momentarily buried on the 11th under the North Tower. I'm lucky to be alive. But on the morning of the 12th, all I had was a retired guy, Mikey Vitale from 153 truck, had my back. I was in the pit underneath the Deutsche Bank there looking for, tunnel raving. Right. And we had no masks, no tools, no ropes. We had nothing. And I went down 3 or 4 stories down. Mikey's up there watching my back, but my lungs shut down, John. I looked up at him and I couldn't get the 4 letters help out. So I did the universal, I'm choking. Him and a couple of guys, they pulled me up out of there, took me into tent house, set me, and they actually were dragging me in because I was losing consciousness because I couldn't breathe. The last thing I remembered, because I was about to black out and, excuse me, they were sticking the needle in my arm. I heard somebody say 5 units of albuterol. And with that, within 2 to 3 seconds, my lungs opened up. So after about 20 minutes of monitoring me, they took me to right in front of the Century 21 on Church, where they had a little tent set up for triage. Right. And it happened to be right where I was buried the day before. And of course, I didn't say anything to anybody, but in my mind, this is what's going. So the male nurse hands me off to 2 nurses. This is what I'm getting at, a young and an old one. The young nurse is doing the monitoring. She's checking me every minute or 2. And then after 20 minutes, a half hour, she's unhooking me. She goes, listen, you've stabilized. You got to go home. Go to the emergency room. If you feel anything, call your doctor. And I'm just yesing her. So the old nurse standing behind me, behind the young lady, starts laughing. So the young nurse turns around and she's mad. And she says, there's nothing funny. What do you find funny? She looks at the young nurse. She says, honey, you ever worked with firemen before? No. So the old nurse turns to me. She goes, excuse me, son, are you going home? I said, absolutely effing not. She turns to the young girl. She goes, get used to it, honey. They're all the same. That was about the extent of funny out of all of that. But I had to tell you that little bit.
No, that's great. Tim, hold on. Is Tom there? Is Tom there? Bobby, is Tom in?
I think. Let me check.
All right. As I always say, I was supposed to work on 9/11. I got the writing list right here, and I had to go for my medical. Everybody who worked was lost, and I said, if I don't do something good, they're going to kick my ass when I get up there. They're not upset that we switch our schedules. Our guys, we always did it, but you better do something good. You're here with your families, and you're doing something good, Tim. You're really doing something good, and it's a pleasure to know you, man.
Thank you, John.
And I'm going to send you a check tomorrow. Would $5 do anything? No, I'm going to send you more than that. I'm going to send you.
I can get some tidbits with that kid.
I'll add $1. I'll add $1.
And so I can send you a check. Did we lose Cooper?
I'm still here.
Oh, there you are. All right.
We're all here.
Guys, I wanted you guys to hang on because Tom Daddario is one of my favorite comics in the world, and he's going to close the show with a few yucks here. Not stand-up, just ranting. Tom bitches and moans a lot. He has a lot to complain about. Usually.
He's married?
Yeah,
almost.
The best trip,
almost again.
The best trip of our lives, I think, comedy-wise. We both went to Florida. I took him down. We did.
Oh, it was amazing.
We had more laughs. And watching Tommy change his bathing suit in the parking lot, brought me back to Rockaway Beach when I was 10 years old. Hold the towel. I go, you can't change in the parking lot. Just hold the towel. And we did it.
I'm obviously very shy.
What do you got going on, Tommy? What's going on?
Look, who is that said I'm almost asked if I was married?
Tim.
Tim, yeah. Totally, yeah. Look, I'm in pajamas. Okay, I'm in pajamas. I'm probably getting in bed in like a half an hour, and my new girlfriend has 2 kids. So how almost married am I?
Hey, if you didn't mention your new girlfriend, I would say you sound married. You're getting in bed at 8, you're wearing your pajamas. What do you think I'm doing?
Oh my God, dude! I'm in pajamas.
That's all right.
You're probably naked under your shirt, John. You probably just had your shirt on, and from the shirt down, you probably have nothing on.
You know me. So what's been going on?
Not a lot, man. I'm hanging out here in Middle Island. I'm further out on the island than you are now, John. I'm in Middle Island.
It's amazing when you meet a girl. Tommy, come out to my house. Oh, Johnny, it's so far. I live in a store.
I know.
Now he's driving out to Mid Island every other day.
Middle Island.
Hour and go home.
You know why, John? Because she does things that you would never be willing to do.
I hope so.
You want him to.
It depends on the donation. The laughter saves lives, Tom. It depends on the donation. You know that.
Oh, man. So how's everybody doing? I mean, they're reopening everything. They're reopening my sister's church now. That's what they said.
Just your sister's church?
No, they have to. You have to make an appointment. You have to make an appointment to go to the church. You got to make like reservations to go to church now. Listen to this shit. You got to make reservations. You got to stay away from each other. And then when they give you the host, you have to take the host from the priest. You can't take it in your mouth. You have to take it in your hand. You have to wear a mask, and then you could step off to the side. Then you have to take the mask down. You could stick Jesus in your mouth, and then you could go and pray after you put Jesus in your mouth from him handing it to you.
At my church, they're doing the priest is wearing gloves, and you open your mouth from 6 feet away, and they keep flinging them until they get one in.
Until they get one in. Remember those, dude? You remember those little guns they had where they put the little disc in?
Yes.
They should have those where they fire Jesus directly into your mouth from 6 feet away.
You don't have to say Jesus. You don't have to be sacrilegious. Just say the host.
Dude, do you think there's a priest? Dude, do you think there's a priest listening right now that's saying, well, at least they didn't say Jesus?
Listen,
If they had those guns, I would start going to church immediately. That sounds awesome.
I
would be hilarious.
Catholicism right now.
Oh my God, that would be hilarious.
Very good, Cooper. Yes. Tom, I don't know if I want you to look up Cooper Lawrence when you go home because we had a big shot on tonight.
Oh, okay. Oh, hi, Coop. Coop,
Yeah.
can I call you Coop? Anybody
Sure.
call you Coop?
Everybody does. I like it.
Oh, cool, Coop. I love giving people nicknames.
Oh, my wife hates that. Within 30 seconds, I shorten people's name. She hates, like Megan. I'd be Megan. I say, how you doing, Em? How you doing, Egg? Or something.
Yeah. That's why he calls me.
I
he
love
calls
that. I
me-
think that shows a level of comfort with people. I love that.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm glad you
Just
like
don't call
that,
me
Coop.
Egg.
He calls me Tim because there's not much left to my name.
Just don't call me late for
grunts.
dinner. I'm good.
He just grunts and you know he's talking to you.
Exactly. Well, I told my sister that they should just have it where you can order Jesus on Amazon, and then you don't have to go in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if you can order Jesus on Amazon and then go in, you could bring Jesus with you, so that you don't have to
The
worry
driver?
about the priest firing Jesus into your mouth or eating it. I'm sorry, John. I'm ruining your show.
You mean that they would leave it? They would leave it on the step, take a picture, and then you would know Jesus is on your steps.
Right, and then you have to sign for Jesus. You can't just leave Jesus laying around. You know what I mean?
You have to wait days before you can open Jesus.
Yes, of course. And there's a return policy. Of course, within 30 days you can send Jesus back if you're not 100% satisfied. But then there'll be times, John. The reason why that works is because if I'm in church,
I'm in the very dirty.
well, if I'm in church with you, and then if you left Jesus home, I might have remembered Jesus, and then you could just be like, oh, I left Jesus on my table, and I'm like, oh shit, I have plenty of Jesus.
I got
and
some
then
Jesus
can
in my
give you
trunk. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, right? Yeah. Sorry, John. Your show was probably all wholesome and shit, and then I went,
No.
Jesus pet.
Cooper had just a filthy mouth. You weren't even listening.
Well, then why did you should have let me in earlier? I can't even
PG
listen.
to R-rated in 2 minutes when Cooper came on.
I didn't get any of that fun.
You're the one who said anal.
That's true.
A lot.
Coop's got the better mic. He's got a cool microphone.
It ain't this. I ain't it.
It's all professional.
Coop looks all professional. I'm standing next to a gazebo holding a phone.
Well, no, I just got done doing my radio show, and then I'm here, so I'm still dressed from radio.
Oh, okay. You're still dressed for radio.
I'm still dressed from radio, yeah.
That's really impressive that you dressed for a radio show. I mean, I really like that.
Cooper is one of the coolest looking guests we've ever had on.
Absolutely.
Yes, phone's on. She's not
because
even...
Megan's you're a host, Megan, right? So you're not considered a guest. You're a host.
Yeah.
Right. Megan's been on twice.
I'm top liver.
She probably will not volunteer. Bob, you got a minute?
Yes, sir. 2 minutes.
All right. Tommy, we got a minute.
Yes.
Can you say something funny?
Oh my God, I don't know, John. That's a lot of pressure.
Talked a lot. Said a lot of crap. No, you know what? He is my favorite comic. I have to tell you. If you're going to see one comic, and you don't want to pay a lot of money because Tommy only costs like $5. You're not.
I'm cheap. Yeah, I'm cheap. Cheap date.
Go see my friend Tom Daddario. He's my favorite headliner. I book him so many times, and he busts my balls every time I book him. We have to haggle about price. We go back.
I love it. It's
And
the most fun.
I cave in, kick in an extra $10, and
John, you want to describe to them how we negotiate when we talk? You want to do that for them?
You describe it. Go ahead.
All right. Well, you have to offer me.
All right, Tom, can you do a gig Friday night?
No, it's not enough. It's not enough money.
Tell you how much money you have.
No, I'm sorry, John. I can't make it.
And that's how we haggle. Cooper, thank you. Megan, thank you. Tim, thank you so much. Tommy, thanks for taking the time, leaving your girlfriend's house. Put on some clothes.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Laughter Saves Live. Good night.
Nice meeting everyone.
Good night, Coop. Good night, Megan.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
You guys were great. Don't forget Jesus.
Yes. Yes.
Thanks, Tom.
Old leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. Was chasing the beer that circle the lips. Play ball, play ball. Load up the bases and smack it right over the wall. Play ball, play ball. Take off the caps, time for the song.